What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I am your host, your bastard of ceremonies, Reckless Rexx Ruger. If you couldn't tell by those chompers, that, of course, is the Freddie Mercury puppet. We got another amazing episode of Pod Scum for you tonight, but what else would you expect? You know it, I know it. This is where the cool kids come to chop it up with your boy, Rexx Ruger. No place else. You might also know me as AKA Diamond David Lee Roth Jr. At least you should. And let me give myself a look just for validation. And of course, you know how I get this goddamn good looking right there, kids. And what's my disclaimer? Like I always say, use it and you might not look this good. No, you definitely won't look this good, but you'll probably get pretty damn close. That's a lie too. You probably won't even get this damn close, but you'll probably look pretty damn good. That being said, another amazing episode with your boy, as I said, Diamond David Lee Roth Jr., the son of glam, the front man for the band, the peanut butter to your jam, adored by millions of fans. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Wop, bop, loo, bop, wop, bam, bam, shazam, hot damn. Ooh, I feel good when I get that out, man. Ooh, got to give myself another look, man, just for posterity's sake. And we got another great episode tonight. And my guest is here right now, so I'm going to shut the fuck up, and we're going to get down to it and chop it up. I can't wait. Let's do it. And we'll get him in here. Un momento. Jose.
What's going on, dude?
Do I got you, man?
You got me.
I got you. Well, hey, what's going on, man? First of all, man, congratulations, man. I really love this album, man. Killer.
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. Are you somebody that buys much into like genre labels? Because I've been seeing everywhere where it's labeled pop punk. Labels suck. Genres suck.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we're like, I don't know. We're like a little bit of everything, you know, like pop punk, emo, hardcore, just regular rock and roll. I don't know, you know.
Yeah, well, you are from Brooklyn, man. I mean, you got to have some hardcore in you, man, if you're in New York. I mean, the home, the mecca of hardcore right there, man.
Hell yeah.
It really is. I mean, I'm in upstate New York, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I mean, you know, New York hardcore bands, there's none better.
I thought you were in California. That's cool. I didn't know you were in New York.
No, I'm in upstate New York, man. I'm up near Syracuse.
Your background just screams California to me. I don't know why.
So listen, usually I start these things and kind of work backwards, man. Was there a specific album or an artist or maybe even a song that got the whole music thing jump-started for you?
Well, it is related to punk. I want to say it was, you know, like the usual, like Green Day and the Offsprings maybe was like the first bands that I heard. And they were like, oh shit, they're faster than the other bands that I listened to. And, you know, it was just like, I don't know. It was just like a more energetic, like, I don't feel like it did more with like my flow than what I was used to listen to. Like I was very much into like more like new metal, like Limp Bizkit and Korn and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I listened to the Offsprings and all these melodies and this fast fucking beat, and I'm like, all right, this is more surfing, this is more skateboard, you know, I like this much better.
Yeah, it's crazy that you brought up Limp Bizkit because I saw that they just brought out Corey Feldman on tour with them. I don't understand what that guy's doing, man. I feel like I'm not really sure if it's a joke and we're not in on it, man. I don't know what's going on, man. The whole delusional Michael Jackson, and then suddenly he's there. Now he's on the tour and he's shredding on a guitar, and I mean, I don't know what's up with that dude.
I don't know either. I don't know. I've seen a couple of videos of him, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah.
If he's trolling us, though, it's fucking genius.
I don't think he is. I think he believes that he's good.
Yeah, that's the sad part. I think he does too. And so before you started this band, man, you were doing a solo thing?
Yes. I was doing like a solo project that I used to call Sad in French.
Yeah.
And it was very sad it was like not French, and it was like, you know, like folky punk, like fast. But yeah, I did that because I was just like, I wanted to get back into music. Like I didn't have like the energy to find like a full band yet or stuff like that, and I just like grabbed the guitar, started writing songs, and it was great. Like I was like, okay, I can write songs, I can still write songs, I can still play guitar, because I like my from my teenage years until like my adult life, like after graduating from college, like the whole college I like stopped playing music.
Yeah.
So after graduating, I was like, all right, like I was slowly trying to get back into music, and that's the way I did it.
And um, so as far as your guitar playing goes, is there somebody out there that you feel like has had the most influence on your guitar playing?
Hmm. Well, growing up, I had a good friend named Tony who had this band called 7 Feet, and the way he played, I was just like always amazed like about the way he plays. And so I was like always like trying to, I mean, he was a good friend, so like he actually showed me a couple of things, and like, but like we didn't have like, I feel like I was so much in like my scene, like the Venezuelan scene, that we just looked at each other. We try to mimic each other, like playing songs, and that's the way I learned how to play. Like I didn't have any teachers or anything. So I would say like the Venezuelan punk scene, that's how I got into like, and the way that I play and stuff.
And I'm kind of jumping around here, man, but I'm really big on symbolism now, man. So the album cover, is there a meaning behind the three of you guys on there with no faces?
I mean, dude, like I think it has like a lot of meanings, you know, like it could be anything. It's like from like the problems that I think that I have in my head, like are like as big as the whole universe, but like they're not.
Right.
To to like we all come from dust, you know, that we all come from like the universe, and we go back there. To I don't know, man. Like our minds are fucking huge, you know. Like we get all this inside of our heads. Like we have all this like things going on all the time, and like it's so hard to simplify. Like to me, like that's what it is. Like that's what we have inside of our heads. It's like as big as the universe, you know.
And is music very cathartic and therapeutic for you? Because you've been pretty candid in like other interviews when I was getting my notes together on you about mental health and having panic attacks.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like music.
Which I'm glad because the last couple of interviews, man, it is great, man, that those walls are kind of down now and that guys are more comfortable talking about mental health issues. Because for a long time, we did feel like we had to suppress it almost.
Yeah, for sure. It was almost like taboo, right? It's like it was
Yeah.
or like scary to like come out and be like and say like, oh shit, like I'm actually anxious all the time, and like you just gotta like, people think that because you play in a band and like you're like, fuck, I don't know, you're drinking and you're like having fun, like you're like, oh, you're like, I don't know, you must be never anxious or you must be never sad, or and it's the complete opposite. Like we put on this mask, like, you know, like all the time when we go out and play shows. And like at some point I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna be open about this because I need to and because I want to, but also because I feel like it's people would appreciate it too, you know. And that's what's been going on. Like it's very natural. It was like a very natural transition, I think, for us to do this.
And when you guys get together and you make music, the three of you, what's the creative process like? Does somebody have the lion's share of the ideas? Do you guys get together? Is it collaborative?
So for this last record, it was collaborative in a different way. I wrote most of the songs on an acoustic guitar during the pandemic and like a little after, and then we had to get a new drummer because during the pandemic our last drummer quit. And so when we found our new drummer Alejandro, he lives in Canada, so like we couldn't really like jam together.
Yeah.
So what we did was we keep on sending songs. Like he sent like stuff out for us too, and then like in the summer of was it last year? I guess it was last year. Yeah, summer of last year, we got a Airbnb for like a week, and we brought the drums, we brought the amps, we brought everything. We met in the middle. We met like probably where it's like it was the Hudson area.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we just jammed for a whole week, like all the new songs, and that's how the songs transformed from acoustic to like full band.
And so your individual creative process, I talked to a lot of musicians on here. I hear a lot of people getting ideas. They say they get a lot of ideas in the car or at their day job, or they lock themselves in a room and force themselves to write. When you're going to create, but by yourself, what's the process like for you individually?
Everything starts by just like I have like 2 or 3 acoustic guitars like around my apartment, so I just grab one, and I start like even watching TV. I just start like playing and noodling on the guitar, and once I play something that I like either like turn off the TV and start like like mumbling to the song and making melodies like with like the vocals. And if I like it enough, I record it on my phone, and that's how it goes. And then like and then when we're ready to do a record, or when we're ready to, I just go through the phone and look for the stuff that I hearted or like starred. And I mean that's one way to do it. And sometimes I just like I get so much into what's coming on with the guitar that I was just like, oh shit, I just wrote the whole song, and then I start mumbling things, and then like it's kind of making sense, like the stuff that I'm saying. And I'm like, oh, that's really good. So I write then I sit on my computer and start writing. And sometimes it happens like naturally like that and like very quickly. But yeah, about like, I don't know, like I think to me like ideas come like that, but also come like walking around, or like I'm very, very grateful for our iPhones and like my Apple Watch. Like if I'm out on a run, I can still record something that I like on my phone and on my watch, and I just go like dun 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 dun, like I go like that. That's how it goes.
Thank God for technology, right?
Dude, yeah.
And so how do you end up on Fat Mike's record label? How do you come under his? How do you show up on his radar?
I think it was just by like playing and touring like nonstop. Like we before Fat, we were on Red Scare, which is like another great label. And because we were on Red Scare, we started touring with like more bands from Red Scare that moved to like Fat and Epitaph. So we started touring with like Teenage Bottle Rocket and the Looney Tunes and like the Men Singers and Mass Intruder. And so like I feel like meeting those people like slowly, like we got like closer and closer to Fat. And at some point Cody from Teenage Bottle Rocket invited me to his wedding, invited all of us to his wedding, and that's how I met Erin, Mike's ex-wife. And then Erin and I became friends, and I told her that I was going to send her the record. And she said, yeah, sure, send me the record. And I sent her the record. She loved it. Then she showed it to the office, and then she showed it to Mike, and then Mike loved it, and that's it, But it I think it's from like, it was like, I don't know, like a natural way to go from like a smaller label to like now Fat, like very, working hard and like just like meeting people and being nice.
And I know a lot of people are bummed that Fat Mike is not doing No Effects no more, but he is doing Co-Defendants, and they're fucking great.
They're great, dude. They're
fucking great.
I mean, like and Co-Defendants has like a secret weapon that is like this band called Zeta.
Yes.
And they're the backing band from Co-Defendants, and
they're
all good friends of ours, and they're like incredible musicians and like incredible stage presence. So I feel like, yeah, that's like the secret weapon for Co-Defendants, I think.
I've had Sam and I've had Chesky both on. Yeah, awesome,
Nice.
dude. Yeah, they're really good, man. And so talk to me a little bit about, if you don't mind me bringing this up, because my day job, I work in healthcare as a nurse. So the nurse part of me is intrigued by this Hashimoto's disease.
Yeah. that's something that I found during my never-ending quest to find out why I was having all these panic attacks, you know. So I was just like researching and going to many doctors. Like luckily I had insurance then, and I did every blood test, every like x-ray, everything. So I went to this one doctor and she's like, maybe it's your thyroid. And I never thought about the thyroid. And she checked my thyroid, and all my like levels were like out of whack. Like they were like my T4 was low, and then my my antibodies were like crazy high. And then like she recommended more things, and then we found out that I had Hashimoto's. And it's like a weird disease to be. It's usually more on a female than a male. But it comes from a family. Like my grandmother had it, and one aunt has it. So I was just like every time I found something, I'm like, jackpot, you know, like this is why I'm like having panic attack. This is why I'm anxious. So, but it wasn't that. I just found out that I have Hashimoto's, and now it's like, fuck, like I have another thing now. But I'm okay with it. Like I just take one pill every morning, and you know, now my levels are like fine, and I feel like I don't know, like Hashimoto's is it's like a weird disease. Like you know, you start losing your hair a little bit, like you either gain or lose weight too, like out of whack. But like one pill just like it gets you normalized. I tried that, and I also try.
Go ahead.
What?
Did you know previously that anybody else in your family had it, or did you find out after you found out?
I found out after I found out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I don't think this is like the kind of questions that it comes out like at the dinner table, you know.
Right.
Also like in South America, we're like kind of like very quiet with things like this, you know. Like if you're like sick in a way, like you don't talk about it. If you're like if you're like anxious, but you don't know, like you don't really talk about it. So it's like, but yeah, I found out afterwards. But like what I was gonna say was, before taking the pill, I try another recommendation that my doctor said, that was like to quit gluten. Like she's like, you know, like if you quit gluten, like I feel like your levels will come up and come down, and I did it for a year, man, and it was so fucking annoying and so like sad and
I know.
I love food. I love food, and just like it just made me more depressed, you know. So it's just like I tried it, and then the levels like moved like a tiny bit, like for a whole year, and I'm like, fuck this shit. Like
this ain't worth it.
Yeah, ain't worth it.
This ain't worth it. I'd rather just have the fucking gluten and be sick.
Yeah.
And so this album, 12 songs, 38 minutes, that feels like the right format nowadays, man. Like, do you think about that, man? Because your previous project was an EP. Do you prefer the EP, or do you like a full-length album more?
I love a full length. The EP was more was something that we did with a couple of songs extra that we didn't put on the last record, and a couple other songs that we like remixed. But it was just for like the pandemic, just like, you know, we need to put something out, like, and we couldn't, you know, so that's why we did the EP. But I do like both. I like EPs and I like full lengths, and EPs to me are like more like to the point, like, or if you have like 4 songs that mean like something to you, and like these 4 songs are like just like together in a way that like they're almost like a combo of songs, and that's fucking great. And to me, EPs are great too for like DJing. Like if you're a DJ, like you just grab if you DJ 7 inches, that's like the best way to go. Now, but like I would like, I honestly, I've been thinking about this, and I think like a lot of people are doing this, like just like put out single after single after single after single after single, and then put out the whole record, because that's like the way the Spotify is like been working out these days, you know.
Yeah, because nobody sits down and listens to a full-length album no more, and it's sad that the American, or just not even America, you know, the world's span has dwindled so much. You know, I mean, people don't sit down and listen to an album the way it's meant to be listened to from start to finish anymore. They dance around, or they pick 2 songs that they really like, and you know, it feels like sometimes like your deeper tracks might not even get heard, which is depressing.
Yeah, it is. I agree. It's sad. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, you know, shit happens.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, you know, the record business has changed so much too. You know what I mean? So like, you know, streaming makes it so like it is easy just to pick and choose what songs you like. You know what I mean? When you put an album on before, I feel like back in the old days, and I mean, I'm 51 years old, so I feel like when you put an album on back in the day, you know what I mean? You took the whole journey from start to finish, you know?
Yeah. The way I've been doing it is like whenever I find a new band on Spotify, like you know, like my daylist or like whatever, uh I save it and then I go, it's oh, I remember I liking this song, so I go to the band and I listen to the whole record.
Right.
That's the way I do it. But whenever a friend of mine like puts out a record, I just like really take time and listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about touring, man? Like, where do you guys stand on touring, man? Like, are you guys in a position where you can go away for a long time? Do you have day jobs? Like, what's the timeline in the itinerary like when you guys tour?
We love touring, and we try to do it as much as we can, or as much as they allow us to. Touring is hard. Touring is it's hard in both ways. It's hard for the body. It's hard to find good tours. And it's also hard to get your jobs to approve your tours.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so fucking hard to do it, but it's the only way to me, I think it's the only way for your band to make a little bit of money, to get to the next level, and to reach out to more fans, you know? So like, I fucking love touring. And lately we actually have the option with our jobs to go on tour, but it's being harder and harder to find more better tours and just like any shows in general. Like, I don't know, I feel like especially in the US, like the US, it's just a hard fucking market, man. Like like there's a lot of bands, there's a lot of there's not all the venues keep closing, you know, the venues keep closing. And all the venues that are at now are like huge venues, and yeah, it's just harder, but like, you know, we just keep on hustling. That's what we do. We keep on hustling every fucking day.
And so a Paradoxical Theory of Change is the album, man. Like, what's the themes in there? I mean, obviously songs are subjective. You can kind of draw your own meaning from them, you know, but what are the underlying themes and the messages that you're trying to convey on this album?
This album, I like to say that it's a relationship between me and myself. That's what it is. And the whole album is a back and forth. And it doesn't have two people singing, but like if you see it, if you read it, or you see it, if you like really listen to it, it's a back and forth between two people. And like you said, it could be an interpretation of whatever. It could be you and your partner. It could be you and a family member. But like the way I wrote it and the way I meant to be it is for like as a me talking to myself without going into an extreme of like feeling crazy. You know, it's like this is more like it's more cathartic, like a more like intelligent way to like, all right, like if you are really trying to like either take advantage or destroy my life, or like let me try to understand what you are and who you are, so we can work together and like we can be friends and we can like actually live in harmony and have a balance like life between us, you know?
And now and now, why are you guys you know, you guys have a magnificent sound, and we've certainly seen amazing trios you know, throughout the history of music, man, but is it a deliberate choice for you guys to be a trio? Have you thought about adding like another member or two? You know, we see a lot of 4-piece bands, 5-piece bands. Like, why just 3 guys?
There's many reasons. I think it's way easier to tour with 3 people. It's like less, you know, less drama.
Yeah.
Less.
Oh yeah, you got that right.
less space, more space in the van. Like less fucking airplane tickets. But also, like you said, you know, there's a lot of 4 and 5 like pieces bands, but there's like trios are like are not as many. And when you find a trio that sounds really good and sounds like as full as like a 4 or 5 piece band, like
Yeah.
they're gonna make a, you know, they're gonna make like a you know, like a difference in if you're watching them. So like I love that about us and about any band that is a 3 piece that I like, you know, like it's incredible. It's an incredible way to put a statement out and say, like, you know, we can make music as a 3 piece, and we, you know, I don't know, and like I fucking love it. I love a 3 piece.
Where does the band name come from, man? Because like when you hear it, you instantly do think of like an aggressive. It sounds like an aggressive hardcore
Yeah.
band name. You know what I mean? MakeWar. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Where does that come from, and what's the meaning behind it to you? Who are we making war with, Jose?
Well, I mean, it's gonna sound redundant, but like the name came. The name is supposed to be to make war with yourself, right?
Right.
So like it's a way for you to take care of you, so you can take of others. To
Yeah.
take care of others. Like I feel like I feel like, you know how they say, you know, like where am I going with this? Like if you take care of yourself, like and you like are like in peace with yourself, you can actually like go out and like and spread the good word, or like not fight anyone else, like not like I don't know, start arguing with your partner, like not like start even like doing actual words out there, you know, like I feel like if everyone was like, you know, at peace with them, everything will be better. But that's where the name came from. So like it's like fighting, it's about a fight, but it's a fight, it's more like an internal fight, but also a fight. It's the good fight, because we're not, I mean, we're all like, you know, we're all good people, like, but it's also a name that is like, it always will start a conversation. So
Yeah,
I do like
sure.
that about it. Yeah.
And so obviously I'm hearing you say a lot that the music is dealing with the internal struggle. Do you feel like do you feel like the music is almost like a form of therapy? Do you think it helps you like work through the issues?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a many different way of therapies, but like I think one of the ones that I like the most is like screaming therapy, and like that's like whenever we go out on tour and whenever we play shows, like we just scream so hard and so loud to like, and while we're screaming, it's like it means so much to me that it's like both, like it's just you get in the endorphins from like the screaming, and then you're like re-listening to like what you're saying, and it's just like a whole way of like affirmations, and like I don't know, it's like a whole like it's like definitely the best therapy for me.
And I'm glad you made that point, because there is a harshness and a grit to your voice. Are you somebody that ascribes to any kind of a voice care, or do you just go out there and just say fuck it and just belt it out?
When I was younger, I did that, just fuck it and bust it out.
Yeah.
But now I keep on like lowering my guitar. So like the first record that we did was like on standard tuning. The second record was half step down, and then this last record is like full step down. So it's just like it's easier for the voice. But it's also like I now like really try to take care of my voice when we go out on like long tours. Like I do warm-ups pre and after the show. I always have tea around me. You know, like I try to not drink as much like every day. Like I definitely sleep more now on tour. So it's just like I really, because like losing my voice on tour is the worst thing that could happen to me. Like it's like not being able for me to express myself fully 100% at a show. It makes me very, very depressed and sad. Like it's like you came to see me and I can't give you my 100%. Like it's
Right.
It's very, very rough. And even though sometimes people understand, but it's still like I fucking hate it, and and I try to not. That's why I try to take care of it as much as I can.
Do you smoke?
I don't smoke.
Good. That's a good start right
No,
there. That's a
I
good
never
start right
smoked.
there.
I never
Yeah.
smoked. Yeah.
That'll do it. I mean, that'll wreak havoc on the throat. Me and my wife are both ex-smokers, and we've got so much time in that it almost feels like I was never a smoker. Like we've got over 15 years in, you know what I mean? Like having quit smoking. So it almost feels like I never even smoked, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like there's so much separation now that the smoker version of me was like a different lifetime, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a
Totally.
different person over 15 years, you know? You're not the
Yeah.
same person anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, man. Your Mount Rushmore of all-time favorite musical artists for you.
Um.
Now that's your top 4. For those people out there that don't know their geography, Mount Rushmore, 4 faces.
4 faces.
Yeah, yeah. So of course this is subjective. This is not necessarily the 4 greatest acts of all time. This is your 4.
I'll go Joey Cape.
Okay.
I go Elliott Smith. I'll go I mean, I'll have to go Kurt Cobain too. And who else? Let's do, and I'll do John Lennon. Wow, 4 very different, but also 4 like kind of. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will pick John Lennon or Kurt Cobain because but they're also fucking incredible. And yeah, those 4.
Why
I'm
Kurt
sure
Cobain?
Joey would like this 4 combo.
And now, why Kurt Cobain, man? Kurt Cobain seems like a logical pick, man, because you know, again, very much in the same type of vein of music that you guys do. Also, Nirvana, a trio.
I was gonna say, yeah, Nirvana, a trio, and Kurt Cobain, because like the simplicity that he wrote and the way he always like deliver everything that he tried to say and try to do. Yeah, he was just like, I mean, I would have fucking loved to see them live, especially before they got like kind of big. Like, I don't know, man. He was like, to me, he was like so natural with the guitar too. Like, it's fucking awesome. He was awesome.
And a great songwriter. Great songwriter.
Great songwriter. Yeah.
Now, when you sit down to write a song, man, like what's the most important thing, man, when you're sitting down to write a song, man? Like what's the most important ingredient in a good song to you?
Definitely like I need a hook, and I need a melody hook, you know, like,
yeah,
like with the singing, like I always try to find like, you know, like that's why I'm a big fan of like the mumbling of the songs, because I always just look for like a good like to do, you know, like that's it. If I find a hook, like then the song is ready. Like I mean, like to me that's the most important part, and then I go for the lyrics, and like, and for example, for this record, like the last record, I wanted to write really like happy hooks, and then like very serious lyrics, you know, like to me, like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to write like a pop record that has like very serious and very serious lyrics, and yeah.
Do the lyrics come naturally to you?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I just sit down and I just start writing, you know, like, and I don't know exactly where it comes from. I'm a big fan of believing that it comes from just like my subconscious. And the more I write, the more I like, you know, my mind just starts spitting out things. But there's a couple of instances where I'm just like saying and stuff out loud, and like I really like what I said, and I write it down, and it's like a moment that happens, and I was like, okay, this is perfect. But like, I don't know, it's like it's not hard, but it's like, I don't know, it's like definitely not easy. I've been doing it for so long that it's just like it comes out, but it comes out naturally. But for example, like Spanish is my first language, and I've never written a Spanish song. So like it's not natural in that way because I've never done it. But and I think a Spanish song just needs to, it needs to like, to me, it needs to rhyme so much to be able to sound like good,
Yeah.
that it's just like very fucking hard. We do have some Spanish songs that my buddy Edwin wrote him, and he's from Colombia, and like he's like, I mean, much easier to the way he writes his Spanish songs. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
So is MakeWar your main priority? Do you have any other musical endeavors or any other projects going on? You know, because I talked to a lot of guys on here, man, and it seems like they have their foot in like, you know, a bunch of different projects, a bunch of different bands. Are you one of those guys?
No, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how those people do it.
I know. I often wonder that myself too. I mean, I've talked to guys on here that, you know, 3, 4, 5 bands, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, where do you find the time, you know?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I have a partner of 10 years. I have a job that I really like. I have a band that I love, and then I have my own family. So it's just, and I have myself. So it's just like, so how the fuck do we find another band to play with?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. All those things need to be tended to too, you know? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to find time for everything, you know?
Yeah. I mean, look, good for them, but I haven't found time to do that.
Now, if I were to drop you on a desert island, man, what would be your desert island album if you could only take one album with you?
I think it will be Let's Talk About Feelings by Lagwagon.
Okay. Now, why that album specifically? Like, why would you want to grow old on a desert island and essentially die with this fucking album?
Because it was the one album that made me fall in love with the music that I'm doing now. Like I said, like I listened to the Offsprings and Blink-182 before, but when I listened to Let's Talk About Feelings, I remember getting goosebumps. You know, I remember like I remember exactly where I was. I remember like I remember so much from that record that I think it would be a great record for me to, you know, I started with this and I'm gonna finish with that.
And now, did you grow up in a house where there was a lot of music going on?
Yes, for sure. But it was definitely not rock and roll or punk at all, because my parents hated every time I put like loud rock and roll or punk rock.
Did they let you listen to it, or were they strict? Did they have like rules?
No, they definitely didn't listen to it, but like I had to listen to it with headphones.
Yeah.
So I just lay on the floor like right next to our stereo and with headphones, and that's how I listen to all my CDs.
And so you put this album out in 2024. How soon do you think about the next album? Like, I realize that you're on the heels of this one. It just came out or whatever. But it seems like people are really putting out like material extremely quickly now. Well, it seems like there's one of two ways. Either people are putting it out quickly, or they're, if they've been around a long time, like somebody like Metallica maybe puts out an album every 8 years, or Pearl Jam or something like that. But for you guys, what kind of timeline do you like to work at? You know what I mean? Like, your last full length album was 2019, correct? Before this one?
Yeah. So it was at the end of 2019, I believe. I always like to call it like 2020, because like it's just like basically a 2020 record.
So like, what's the good number, man? About 3 or 4 or 5 years between albums?
No, definitely not. This one took so long, and it's just because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm always writing, so like I feel like by next year we'll definitely record a new record, and then it will come out for sure like the year after. You know, I think like that's the timeline for us.
Yeah. And so if people want to find out, you know, or follow you or get into the music or find out what's going on with you guys or tour dates or anything like that, what's the best way?
MakeWarmusic.com. All the socials are MakeWar Music at Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all of that stuff. Like we try to be very active on Instagram and Twitter and on TikTok. So like follow us there. And yeah, and come, you know, I don't know. I like I said, like our drummer lives in Canada, but I try to do as much acoustic like stuff as I can. So like I'll be playing around New York City or like around New York like acoustically. So like if you want to come see me, like come see me, you know.
And for people that haven't seen MakeWar live, what would you tell them to expect if they came to see you guys?
Expect to see a 3-piece band that will hopefully I don't know, I want to say destroy your ears.
That's a given, sure. Yeah.
You know, we're very loud. We're very happy on stage. We you know, like I don't know, we just come people say that we sound better live than on the record, and I really like my records. So like I don't know. So
yeah. That's high praise, though. I mean, you know, especially nowadays, because it really seems like you see a lot of bands playing live, and it seems like people show up to the concerts and they pull their phones out, and then they run home and they post the videos, and everybody's a critic nowadays. You know what I mean? That's got to be frustrating. You know what I mean? People want to go home and they want to say, oh, they don't sound as good as they used to, or, you know, I think they're using backing tracks, or, you know, I think they're not playing their instruments, or you know, horrible live. You know what I mean? It seems like everybody's a critic nowadays.
Yeah, man, I know. They don't know how fucking hard it is, dude. Like no one knows how hard this business is. It's so hard.
I think rock bands or rock venues ought to do the same thing that stand-up comedians do. You know, when stand-up comedians prepare brand new material, they don't want it to leak out because they want people to keep coming to the shows. So if someone goes in and tapes their whole act and puts it up on YouTube, people are just going to watch it there, and they're not going to buy tickets to go see them live. It would be nice if music venues had people just like lock up their phones or not allow them to bring them in. Then I think people are more present and in the moment.
Yeah, I mean that's a solution. Or we can start telling people to like fucking put their phones down. You know, like
put your phones down and be present. You know,
yeah.
It sucks that everybody is so. I mean, you know, if you're pulling it out for a second and you want to get a snippet of a picture or a video,
sure. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, but I see people stand there with it up the whole time. You know what I mean? Like filming the show, and it almost becomes a distraction. And you're watching this concert, you know, through a little tiny screen when you ought to just put the thing down and actually be experiencing it, you know, in the moment.
Yeah, and sometimes you're behind that person, and you have to watch the show through their own screen because like they're covering your face.
Yeah, that's annoying too. Yeah, but listen, man, I'm glad we finally got a chance to do this, man. I appreciate you doing it, man. And now that we're in touch, man, you know, for sure, stay in touch. I would love to have you back on again, man. I really love what you guys do, man. I really dig the album, man. I'm glad I discovered you guys. I started to explore Fat Records website a little bit more when I got into the co-defendants. So you've gained a new fan, man. I started checking out some of the other bands that are on their roster, man. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I like what they do over there. They got a lot of great acts on their label.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reaching out. And this was a blast. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much, man. It was really good talking to you, man. Thank you. Stay in touch. We'll do it again, man, for sure.
We'll do, bud. All
right. Thanks, Jose. Good talking to you, man. Later.
See ya.
There he goes, folks. Jose Prieto from MakeWar, a pop punk band from Brooklyn. I don't know if he likes the label pop punk, but that's what all the music journalists are calling them on there, man. But think in the vein of a Green Day, Offspring, maybe slightly more hardcore elements, man. But they have put out an amazing album, man, called A Paradoxical Theory of Change, which just came out here in 2024, man. Do go check it out, man. They are an amazing three-piece. I would call them a punk rock band for sure. Drop the pop part, man. I mean, certainly good, great hooks, great melodies, anthemic songs, you know, that gallop along and really make you want to get into them and sing along with them. Some amazing choruses, man. Very introspective lyrics, man, about as we talked about, as the internal struggle and anxiety. And again, it's great that they're getting this kind of stuff out there and being so candid about it, man. That's always good, man. We like to see these issues out on the table. So I salute what they do, man. And so Jose and the boys, man, doing great things, man. Go check them out. They're on Fat Mike's record label, Fat Records. Of course, Fat Mike, the legend from No Effects. So got a lot of great bands on that label. That's how I first was made aware of MakeWar. So go check them out, man. Go check out A Paradoxical Theory of Change, an amazing fucking album. Rexx Ruger approved. So go check it out, man. Big thanks to Jose Prieto for coming on here, man. Really enjoyed the conversation, man. Hope you guys did too. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to stay tapped in for the coolest conversations anywhere. This is where the cool kids come to chop it up with your boy Rexx Ruger. No place else, man. So stay tapped in. Make sure to like and follow us on Facebook as well for updates on all new episodes and anything else that I may post up there, man. Always trying to stay in tune with people. Very receptive. If you reach out to me, let me know what you like, what you don't like, who you'd like me to get back on, who you'd like me to try to get if I haven't had them on already. So I'm very receptive. So reach out, man. And like I always say when I end these things, remember to take it easy and keep it sleazy.